Right, so this is chemistry class for today. Okay, so just go to the class um, on YouTube and make sure you do your assignment. So what I'll be teaching today is elements, atom, element, and compound. Atom, don't forget. Atom, elements, and compounds. So just make sure you are trying to jot some things. I'm just trying to utilize the materials I have here. Atom, element, and compound. Alright, so for atom, element, and compound, what do we have? We need to first know what atoms are, right? Okay, so take note. Atom is not an indivisible particle. So why do we say it is not an indivisible particle? It is because of what? Nuclear chemistry. In nuclear chemistry, you can actually divide atom, the particles inside atom. You can divide them. So you can break it down. So you can't divide atom as the invisible particle. You can simply say that it is the smallest particles of a substance. Smallest particle of a substance. So take note of that. You can see that is the smallest particle of a substance. So write it in full. So now, moving on. Atom is the smallest particle of a substance. So now, what are atoms made of? What are those particles that we are talking about? What are those smallest particles we are talking about? So we are talking about the smallest particles like proton, neutron, and what? And electron. These are the smallest particle that atom is made of according to your syllabus. So now proton is actually what? Is actually a particle that is positively charged and is located inside the nucleus of an atom. So when we consider the atomic structure, where you find this proton guy is inside the nucleus of an atom. Whereas neutron is a neutral particle that can also be found inside the nucleus of an atom. Are you there? Then electron, hope you are following me, is a particle that can be found outside the nucleus of an atom. So electron usually orbit around the nucleus. So for example, if I'm to draw the atomic structure, I can put something like a circle to represent the nucleus, right? Then inside that nucleus we have what? A proton, which we normally say proton has a positive charge, electron has a neutral charge, neutron has a neutral charge, then electron has a negative charge. So you can see that. So inside there I will put what? Positive to represent what? The proton. Then I will put neutron, which is neutral. It has a neutral charge. It is also present inside the nucleus. Neutron. Then the nucleus is surrounded by what? By what they call shell. You can call it shell, or you call it what? Orbital. Shell, or you call it what? Orbitals. Though the orbitals are still inside the shells. So hope you are following me. So now the electrons are located on the shell. You understand? Or you can say on the soft shell, on the shell or the orbitals. That is where you can find the electrons. And I already said they are what? Negatively charged. So take note of this. During chemical reactions, what is usually what? Transferred. During chemical formation, compound formation, what is usually transferred is electron. So electron will be transferred from one element to the other. Neutron and proton cannot be transferred. Why? Because they are inside the nucleus. So it's electron that can easily go. You get it now? So that's it. So during chemical combination, electron is usually transferred. Electron is usually shared. So we will look at that probably in the subsequent class. That's another topic, chemical combination. So moving on to what atomic number and atomic mass is. So what is atomic number? So now atomic number we say it is the number of what? Number of proton present in an atom. So atomic number is equals to number of proton present in a neutral atom. So atomic number is equals to P, number of proton that is present in a neutral atom. That's an atomic number. What of atomic mass? Because you need to know what those two guys are, because we are going to use it when we get to elements. Atomic mass is the number of proton and neutron present in a neutral atom. Number of proton and what? Neutron present in a neutral atom. Yeah, so the question comes that why are we not saying number of electron? Why are we not using electron? I already told you, electron is easily transferred. Electron is easily shared because it's outside the shell. So it's outside the nucleus. So it's always going, it's always being shared. So we cannot use electron. We have to use proton because proton is typical to that atom. So, but in a neutral atom, take note that the number of protons is always equals to the number of electrons. So P is equals to E in a neutral atom. P is equals to what? E. The number of proton is equals to the number of electrons. So I hope you are following me. So now if you want to write, let's go to an element now. Alright, so what is an element? An element is the smallest part of an atom that can what? Take part in a chemical reaction and still retain its chemical properties. So in your JAM, nobody will ask you this definition, but if you are listening to this based on the fact that you want to write YX or any other exam, you should know the definition of elements. So element is usually represented by a particular symbol. So I just use X as my designated element. So I forgot to tell you that under atomic number, the atomic number is denoted by Z. So take note of that. So when they write Z, we are talking about atomic number. Then the atomic mass is denoted by A. So when they write A, we are talking about atomic mass. So now, when you are writing an element, you have to write the atomic mass at the top, then the atomic number at the bottom. You can see it. So for example, if I want to write sodium, sodium is Na. Then the atomic number is what? The atomic number is 11. The atomic mass is 23. Do you get it now? So that is how we write the symbol of element. So this is how we write the symbol of element. So you are expected to know at least the symbol of the first 20 elements. And that will be my assignment for this class. Write down the first 20 elements and send it to me on the mentorship platform. So write out the first 20 elements and send it to me on the mentorship platform. So when you are writing it, you must write your symbols. Sodium is 1123. So there's a reason for that. So now let me quickly talk about compound, the last thing that I will be discussing in this video. So now compounds are what? When those two elements, when they are chemically combined, they become compounds. For example, I told you that we have sodium, right? Sodium is 1123, right? So this sodium can chemically combine with another element. For example, we have chlorine. Chlorine is what? 1735.5. Can you see how it's not magic? Can you see I'm knowing it? You have to know it like that too, because it's part of the first 20 elements. So that means sodium has what? 11 atomic number. Chlorine has 17 atomic number, right? And don't forget that that atomic number is the number of proton of that element. Are you there? Then this one has 17. That is the number of proton of this element. So there will be an electron transfer. Don't forget I told you that in a neutral atom, the number of protons is equal to the number of electrons. So there will be an electron transfer from sodium to chlorine. To what? So that they can combine together to form a bond between them. So compounds is what? Is actually a substance which when two elements combine chemically, they usually form compound. So that's how you can define compound. So compounds are formed when two elements combine chemically, and it is based on the transfer of electrons. So for example, now this sodium and chlorine, they will form what? They will form sodium and what? Chloride. So in the next class, I will need to continue with ions, because we have two types of ions. We have the cations and the anions. Then we will now look at how these compounds are formed. When we look at ions, valency, and ions, valency, and oxidation number. So we'll look at how all these compounds are formed. So make sure you don't miss that class. So make sure you submit your assignment to my